If you're planning to come to Germany in 2026, or honestly, if you're already here and you're scrambling to find a job, this video is for you. The golden era of landing here and surviving on food delivery jobs, that's over. For years, international students without German skills could rely on those mini jobs, like delivering for Lieferando, stacking shelves at supermarkets, just to pay the bills. But in 2026, the math is officially broken. Here's the reality. The block account requirement is roughly 1,000 euros per month. But the new mini job earning limit, it's capped at 603 euros. Do you see the problem here? Now, I know that some of you might be thinking, but I have a block account, right? I can survive on it. The question is, can you? Let's be real for a second. Most of us didn't have money lying around us. We borrowed it. You may have a student loan back home, taking up the interest. Or you might have borrowed cash from your relatives that you promised to pay back soon. If you're capped at 600 euros a month, you aren't paying that loan anytime soon. You aren't sending money to your parents. You are barely covering your own rent. You aren't surviving, you are drowning actually. But look, I'm not just here to scare you. I'm going to show you the only way to fix this in 2026. And I'm also going to tell you exactly how I went from freezing in a delivery truck as a student to working at SAP headquarters as a student. And not just me, I will also share how a student of mine, whom I'm mentoring recently, landed a job at famous 100-year-old German group. First off, let's talk about the minimum wage. So, in 2026, it goes up to 13.90 euros per hour. Sounds great, right? More money in the pocket. Nah, that's wrong, because the mini job limit is hard capped at 603 euros. It just means you hit the ceiling faster. You can only work about 43 hours a month. That's it. You hit that number, you stop earning. But honestly, that's not even the biggest problem. The problem is saturation. Every single international student, I mean thousands of them, is applying for the same 5 jobs. Domino's, Lieferando, Wolt, Amazon, McDonald's. I get messages literally every day saying, bro, I applied 20 delivery jobs and I got 0 replies. Am I doing something wrong? You aren't doing anything wrong actually. The queue is just too long. And if you're banking your entire visa on these jobs, you are taking a massive risk. I'm telling you this because I made this exact mistake. When I landed here in 2018, I was confident. I had 5 years of professional experience from India. I thought companies are going to line up for me. My first month, I sent many applications, maybe to like 20 companies in my own university town. What I got was rejections, and many times ghosted. I went to my university HR office, showed them my CV and asked for help. They basically shrugged. They had no answers for me. And at the same time, I had no mentors. I was completely on my own. So I did what everyone told me to do. I looked for labor jobs. With my broken German and a translator app, I got a contract at DPD. At first, I was relieved. I was earning something to pay my loan. But the reality hit hard later. It was November. I was working inside a metal shipping container in -4 degrees Celsius. I was lifting 20 kg packages for 5 hours straight. My back started giving up. My health started falling. I remember thinking, is this why I came to Germany? But instead giving up, I tried to switch and I went to McDonald's. They said, no free spaces. I traveled to another city, again, no jobs. And eventually I found a job at Burger King far away that hired me just because I could speak a tiny bit of German. I spent months flipping burgers. And I want to be clear here. There's no shame in that work. It fed me and sometimes also my friends. And it made save some money also. But I realized something terrifying. Flipping burgers was not helping me get an actual job after my master's. And actually, I was wasting time. The turning point came during the semester break when I found a cleaning job. It paid well, but the best part was it was in an office building. For the first time, I saw how German offices actually worked. And even though I was just the guy emptying the bins, I forced myself to talk to the employees. I used that time to practice my German. And that language practice, that's what got me an internship at Heidelberg Cement in Heidelberg. And that experience is how I eventually cracked the interview for a work student position at SAP headquarters. Yeah, it took me 1.5 years of struggle to get there. And I always think if I had the right strategy from day one, I could have skipped the freezing container and all the hard labor work. Now, I know exactly what you might be thinking. That's a nice story, but that was 2018. The market is worse now, and I live in a tiny village. There are no SAP offices here. I get you. So, let me tell you about a master's student I mentored just recently. She's a finance student. She's studying in a really small German town. No big offices. Zero many jobs available in the town, and she was applying for many months. What she was getting? Again, rejections after rejections. When we got first on a call, I could see it in her face. She was depressed. She was ready to give up and go back home. We realized her strategy was wrong. She was applying like a student, not a professional. So I fixed her CV first. We did some mock interviews until she stopped sounding nervous and started sounding like an expert. And guess what happened? She didn't just get one interview call. She started getting interviews with companies like PwC, Airbus, and other massive firms. In the end, she had 4 offers to choose from. 4. Today, she isn't working in a restaurant or supermarket or delivering food in the rain. She's earning 18 euros per hour. She works fully remote from her home. Her manager is super supportive and even allowed her to work from home for 3 months while she'll be in India. What else as an international student you can wish for? And she went from there are no jobs in this village to high paid remote work because she stopped acting like a laborer and started acting like a professional. So, how do you do this? You need to aim for work student jobs. And here's the math for 2026. Option A is the mini job trap. You make minimum wage, you are capped at 603 euros. You are broke and you have zero career growth also. Option B is the work student strategy. First off, the pay. The companies don't pay minimum wage here. They usually pay 15 to 18 euros per hour. Second, the hours. You're legally allowed to work 20 hours a week. That's about 80 hours a month. If you do the math, 80 hour times say 16 average, that's 12,800 euro per month. Suddenly, you are profitable. You cover that 1,000 euro block account, you pay your rent, you can actually start paying back that loan you took in your home country. And the biggest thing, when you graduate, you have German work experience on your CV. Delivering pizza does not count, but this does. Step 1. Stop applying to restaurants. Just stop. Start applying to B2B companies. Look at offices, tech, logistics, support roles. Step 2 will be go to LinkedIn or StepStone and search these specific keywords. Type in work student English. Type in working student support. Look for IT, HR, finance. Also type in Aushilfebüro. That means office helper. Step 3 will be next check for HIWI positions at your university. They pay slightly less, maybe around 14 euros, but the flexibility around exams is unbeatable. The step 4 will be if you live in a small town, filter for remote. My student worked for a company hundreds of kilometers away, and you can too. And if you are financially desperate right now, take the labor job for cash flow, for sure. But spend 30 minutes every single day applying to work student roles using the keywords I just mentioned. And that consistency is the key. To conclude here, in 2026, you can't just afford to be unskilled labor. The cost of living is just too high. My journey involved freezing container and back pain because I did not had a plan. My student journey took a few months of smart preparation, and I want you to be like her. If you want a step-by-step guide on exactly how to write a CV for these work student jobs, drop a comment below saying CV guide, and I'll make that video next. See you in the next one soon. Tschüss.